Hmm. I actually don't know what to think about debuts. I don't think I was even there for the majority of debuts that was happening. I think I watched a lot of clips through friends who reacted to them, but off the top of my head, I can only think of at least 4 or 5 that I've watched through in their entirety. I do have some grievances on how people conduct their debuts, whether it's through like a subathon, through this never-ending debut stream, debutathon, or all that stuff. I think debut should be just a quick start on a content creator's journey. Sure, you can celebrate that start, but when does it actually start if you always keep on celebrating it? You know? I don't even think debuts were a thing when I first got into the VTubing community. For example, the first one I remember, Annoying Orange. I mean, well, the main one, Kizuna. I don't think she even had her own debut. And a lot of time it's when you have a company that is having new employees starting into that chapter is when you have the debut. You're debuting that new character in that group of castmates or group of idols or group of, yeah. When you're starting out as an indie, I don't think it matters at all. I think specifically for these talents at AVD, I think for them is a start for how they want to create content with the means that, or usually takes years to kind of achieve. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. There's just too many debuts happening to keep up with what I'm trying to convey, you know?
無敵の笑顔ガラスメディア知りたいその秘密ミステリアス受け取るのさえ彼女のエリア完璧で嘘つきの君は天才的なアイドル様食べた時の本を遊びに行くならどこに行くの何も食べてないそれは内緒何を聞かてるものらりくらりと淡々とだけどさんさんといやそれ言えない蜜はうちの ID あれもないないないこれもないないない好きな太陽は相手はさ答えて
誰かに愛されたことも誰かのこと愛したこともないそんな私の嘘がいつか本当になることいつかきっと全部手に入れる私はそう欲張りなアイドル等身大でみんなことのちゃんと愛したいから今日も嘘をつくのこの言葉がいつか本当の意味になる日を願ってそれでもまだ君と君にだけは言えずにいたけどああやったやったこれは絶対嘘じゃない愛してる
So, debut in a month. How are you feeling?
I'm I'm feeling pretty excited, but I'm also a little nervous.
nervous
Nervous, but as someone who already kind of debuted like 2.5 years ago, I kind of know the process, but back then I was doing most of the stuff myself. Right now I'm working with deadlines and stuff, so it's a little bit, yeah.
So let's take self-reflection of debuts because that's the whole theme of the episode. What comes to your mind when you think about debut?
Whenever I see debuts, I think it's like an introduction to who you're trying to like brand yourself as. At least that's what I've seen from like the handful of debuts I've watched.
When I think about debuts, I honestly think of like Hololive stuff. They bring in new generations, and it's like a new VTuber and stuff and everything. So like, oh my god, what's it gonna be? But I've never actually seen a debut. I've just heard of it.
Well, introduction of myself, so people got to know me because they've known me as who I am, and I've been telling a lot of stuff, but they don't still know me properly. And I want to properly give them like the impression of how I really am. Also like model showcase, so that's what I think is also kind of important, I believe.
When you started VTubing, were you ever planning on having a debut for yourself?
Honestly, no. Because like at the time I was using like a picture of a model that I created on like a free website. So like I was not expecting to anytime soon because I know how much 2D models cost. And I would not have that money for a very long while if I wasn't the one paying for it myself.
I had planned to debut at some point. Like when I felt ready, I was like, okay, like maybe after I get like a certain amount of like followers and stuff, and I like feel more ready and experienced, I'll debut. So it definitely was in the plan to debut at some point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because back then, my debut was under a different alias, under a different persona. So it was only like a matter of time that I would have to debut as Goetia and not as the person I used to be back then.
So how are you feeling now that you have to do this debut?
A little nervous, a little stressed, because I know that, like, again, at this point, I still have to prepare a lot of stuff. I am still waiting for a lot of stuff to be delivered, but I trust the people that are working alongside of me to get it done in time. And I hope that for the debut, like, I think at least 3 days or a week prior, I got everything delivered, so I will have enough time to set everything up.
I'm feeling nervous, homie. I ain't gonna lie. I'm feeling kind of nervous. But no, right now, I'm just like, okay. Like, I don't feel ready, but I'm like telling myself, girl, you gotta be ready. It doesn't matter now. You gotta be ready whether you like it or not. So I'm really like trying to brainstorm and everything and really like solidify things. I'm like, okay. If I'm not ready yet, then I gotta make myself ready.
I am excited, but a bit worried only because laptops that I use, they're terrible. So I think that's the only thing I have worried about is tech stuff.
Do you have a blueprint or plan of what you want to do with the debut?
That's something that I need to work on. I mean, at least for the debut slides, I at least have that down packed, but for like a direction, that is still in the works because I was just trying to like get all of the stuff that I needed ready before I started like officially planning, since it's still a ways away.
My plan is to start it with my with the model of my previous persona, just to troll my audience and troll like my veteran viewers that have known me from the time back then. And then and then I slowly go with the model showcase. You know, the typical, I start with my feet. Oh my god, 3 feet, blah blah blah. And then and then we slowly go down, and then I'll present them everything of the model, show the stuff that I got for the debut. There's a lot of stuff that I kind of have right now that is on the way. And then present the debut slides with a little silly joke that I wanted to bring in. I was mainly planning on doing a little bit of karaoke, but I don't know how long it's gonna take for me, so the karaoke has to wait for, I don't know, maybe a debut 2.0 if I plan on having one.
I do have a plan of what I want to do with my debut. I feel like I have a general plan. But it's definitely still developing. Like, I know the basic things I should have in my debut and stuff, but I'm really just trying to brainstorm a bit on how I can add my own little twist to it without it just being like the generic template, you know?
What extra stuff have you gotten for your debut?
Right now, I only have the debut art delivered. That was the first commission that I got. That was done by a good friend of mine that I've known for many years. And then there is a stream background that's on the work. I am still waiting for my model so I can get the debut PV done. To which I already found like a person who would do it. The thing is like I'm just waiting for my model so I can like give them the stuff. I have emotes planned. I think, and then what's left to the budget, low prio stuff that I have to look over as well.
So far, what I've really gotten done is mainly things that I can't do myself. So, mainly stuff for like the trailer, for the debut trailer, which is a lot of like video editing and stuff. I'm still quite new at video editing, so I'm like, let me not. So I've gotten like some animation done, I've gotten stingers done, a little a little voice acting in here, you know. Then everything else that's like art related, like emotes, sub badges, overlays, starting soon screens, whatever, that I've been working on myself. Oof. I'm really feeling it, man. I still got so much left.
Well, I was already planning on rebranding anyway, so when the debut thing happened, I was like, oh, well, this would be a perfect opportunity. I've gotten new banners and like icons. I know that for at least my socials, so that they look a bit more personalized to like me. I got new overlays, panels. I got a stream schedule, a custom made one that's personalized to me. I accidentally got 2 debut trailers coming up. Okay, so listen. I put in one like early so like it could be done. I post it, it'll be great. But the person messaged me saying like, hey, my friend doesn't have much of a portfolio. Would you like to be to commission by him instead? And I'm like, okay, I haven't given you money, so I guess if it's bad, I don't I guess I won't be wasting my money. And I didn't hear anything from them for about like a week and a half, and I'm like, okay, this guy ghosted me, let me find someone else. And then I got accepted for that one very quickly, and then like a week after, they messaged me saying like, hey, here's an update. I'm like, oh shit.
So let's bring it back to you. Think back. Did you ever think that you would get to this point?
You know, I like to be optimistic. I think I did imagine myself at some point, like debuting and stuff. But I didn't think this soon, you know? Like, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm gonna start debuting in like a year from now. I was thinking more like, maybe like 3 years down the line or something, you know?
No. Because I've tried the stream once before, like actually like showing my face like on camera during like COVID. And like, honestly, I kept thinking about numbers and stuff, at least during that time. And it just like made me so unmotivated to do so that I like quit until like up until last year in August when I started back streaming, but as a VTuber. So in all honesty, I'm surprised that I've kept consistency, because that's like my biggest problem. Or at least as much consistency as I can with my work schedule.
I don't know, if I'm being honest. I don't know. back then I didn't. I think the funds back then were not that big, because back then I had no job. So well, I lost my job, and then I used the free time to do what I could. So most of the stuff that I have done were also like done by myself, but I think everything was like planned for a good while. I think like 2 weeks. And the only funds that I probably spent money on, I think, was review writer sets, and that's all there is to it.
We are halfway through AVD. We've gotten the twist. What do you think about program now? How are you feeling about that?
I will say that it's given me more confidence in like streaming and actually putting myself out there. And I got to meet a lot of nice people. I guess also it also shows me that what it takes to like be like a, not even just a VTuber, just a content creator in general, and what they have to do and the ups and downs. So now I get a look at, I get to see that firsthand while being in this program.
Well, it's not bad. It helps me a lot. It helped me reflect on a lot of stuff that I could do better as a VTuber. Because back then, I had like no one to tell me, hey, do this, hey, do that. I was like mainly looking at what the people did. That was what I was reflecting on. So, like, for example, it never came to my mind to actually produce content on both TikTok and YouTube, for example. I was mainly streaming, and my schedule was also a little bit over the roof, especially during summer, because there were spikes of inactivity because I couldn't properly stream in my apartment when I had, like, I don't know, 30 degrees in my place. I mean, even right now, it's like that. So, but I do think it helped me a lot with also having a routine, a stream routine, and for example. But as for the future, I don't know what you are cooking, Ryan. So so I am looking forward to it, and along with the other girls, I hope that everything is gonna do well. Although I know, as for Donuts, she's always like, oh, she's getting more stressed and more excited about what we do, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of cute, it's kind of understandable though.
You know, I've really enjoyed my time in Always Virtual Drama. It's been very fun being able to, you know, spend time with other people, get to know new people, get to like push myself a bit and everything. So I've really enjoyed it. I feel like I'm definitely gonna miss it when it's done. Except for that idol color. We still have to talk about that.
It's going good. This is hi everyone. I'm Gucci, and I'm here with my emotional support capybara shitlord.
What is your opinion on debuts? Today is all about debuts.
Ooh, debuts. It's always, I've been watching debuts for like 4 years now. I love debuts because it's always like, it's staple. It's a foundational thing I think all VTubers do. I think they should do it because obviously it's kind of like, you know, a more official version of a meet and greet. You get to know the VTuber and you can determine for yourself whether you want to be invested to them or not. It's like the best way to advertise themselves and to ensure that all their viewers that come their way stay.
Mm-hmm. What is the most impactful debut that you have watched?
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I think it's gonna have to be Eos. Kuzuryo Io, because yeah, just everyone knows. If you know, you know. She's the one that basically introduced the whole VTuber lore video thing, and the first time I watched that, I was just blown away by like the production, the storytelling, and there's no way you can forget the first time something like that happens in the VTubing community, right? It was just changed the entire game.
How do you feel have the concept and the importance put on debut has changed over the years since you've gone into the VTuber rabbit hole?
I think there's really two schools of thoughts that I do see around right now. I think there are people that think that debuts don't really matter, and they have good points for that, because the inflated, I guess, the viewer count is not a baseline for what your average viewer count is going to be. But at the same time, right, like, I think debuts are just a good opportunity for you to advertise the best version of yourself and to tell people or show people why they should support you, why they should keep watching you, because you are getting that influx of viewers. And that's not to say you can't keep all of them, right? It's never,
I feel like for me, since I came before VTuber debut era, and in my mind it's still on the concept of idols.
Yeah.
The debut is more for in an established group. They will debut into and show out that they are the new person. It's like celebrating a new person that joined your job, your team.
Okay.
And so with that, when I went into the VTuber like area of it, I did not understand why indie VTubers were doing debuts. You know, because it's like they don't really have to introduce themselves. We will learn about them throughout their content creation.
I get it. I think like for indie VTubers, debuts are important because like they're indies, right? It's because they're not backed up by any agency or company, which is why I think it's important for them to do the debut video, because it does tell us who they are rather than learning about them over time, because sometimes people just don't have the attention span for it and they want to know right away whether this is a right fit for them to keep watching them. But yeah, there are, my nitpick for debuts, in my opinion, is like, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I feel like if you've done one debut, you don't really have to do another one, because I do see VTubers sometimes they like to do like multiple debuts, and they reuse their same slideshows and whatnot. I'm just like, most of us already know that about you, and I understand that it's important for them to do the slideshow part because they want to give like the credits to their respective artists and riggers for their new models and stuff, right? But I feel like they could afford to not have to talk about themselves again for that long.
I feel like a hotter take is that I don't understand debut subathons. Right?
My god, that's, you know what, that there is you're kind of, that's a cook right there. That's a cook right there.
If the debut is supposed to like check off your starting, why are you dragging out that start of your content creation?
You're right. You're kind of right.
All right.
I think if it's like your first debut, your subathon doesn't make sense. But if you're like a second one, we're like, new alpha debut plus subathon, I'll give you more leeway.
Have you seen any of their content or stuff?
I have not. I think I just didn't want to spoil myself.
Okay.
I got to talk to some of them in the server when they're asking, so they all seem like really nice, lovely people. So I did snoop around their Twitter profile though, but I have not, for my sake, watched any VTuber content by them. So hee. I actually really like how smooth her model moves. It's very animated.
Appreciate my stinger, please.
It's not stiff.
Here you go.
Oh, not even showing everything.
Okay,
just going straight.
You're gonna see the bare bones. Hold up. Give me a
not
second.
the canva.
Why are we at the end? And it's not okay. I'm like, I get scared of butterflies. Like, yeah, that's
very vulnerable moment.
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah,
rookie mistake telling your viewers their weaknesses right away, because
I mean,
now
they're
I'm gonna send
cool,
butterflies.
but like, not in person. Hyperfixation
Hyperfixation?
incoming.
Oh,
Please.
typo?
Hyperfixation
Hyper.
with me.
I'm oddly
My
repulsed, but
bias
also
is-
invested into this now.
Activity.
What just happened?
Okay, I have created her, and she's amazing.
Oh,
there.
you know
So
what?
Twitch
Actually, all things
doesn't
considered,
do
that is
anything.
TOS
But
safe.
this is my second
All
daughter,
things considered,
Mochi,
given the
Live
guidelines
Mochi.
that
Her Twitch is right there.
Twitch has illustrated.
We have Ritsuai. She's my other daughter. My third daughter. Can y'all believe I have birthed 3 daughters?
So let's first start at hype level. I feel like it was pretty hype. I think just due to the fact that her energeticness just is felt through the screen. You can get emotionally invested in what she was doing.
Yeah, I definitely was wrapped by her debut. I would comment that I would kind of categorize her as like a comfy gremlin, and this could just be because I'm so used to chaos. This is considered like more of the casual side. That's not to say that she wasn't hype or energetic. It's just like it's the energetic was familiar and I could get comfortable. It wasn't overwhelming, and that's kind of what you want to avoid when you're trying to make something hype. Is you don't want to make it overwhelming.
Uniqueness. I think mentioning the children stood out as unique to me.
Yeah, and just also the whole Stray Kids thing. That was like there so many moments where I'm just like, yeah, this is an identity that's very unique to her and special to her. So like, you know, she's not a generic template. This is very iconic, and like just not to mention like just her personality in general. This is someone I would like go to a party with. This is someone I would hang out with. We have a good time. 100%.
And I think that also leads to her connection. You connected a lot with her moments of Stray Kids, her moment of getting excited and stuff like that.
This is someone I would be invested into. My initial nitpick was like, oh, bro had Canva up, bro had Microsoft Edge up, but honestly at this point I'm kind of just like, this is kind of on brand. This is just a her thing and it kind of works. So I don't really have a nitpick.
I think
right?
those moments that you mentioned, that is just like, it like gets you to remember, oh shit, why is she like this?
Why she like this?
And then you want to figure out more.
Solid debut. I fuck with you, Didi.
They have the timer for it, so
timers, okay.
Good timer.
Dude, sometimes motherfuckers do not follow the timers. The timer is a suggestion. It's a guideline. It's a reminder for them more than it is for us, really. No. Oh man. I can't tell if this is scripted or not. What?
Curses, some people call them quirks, I call them debuffs. ADHD and autism.
Quirks is wild.
Unique special trait.
Superpowers.
Skill acquired.
If building Lego is also considered crafting, what?
What?
Lego when it's
No,
not
building
Lego
Lego is building Lego.
It's
Not crafting.
Is its own category.
I'm gatekeeping Lego. We are not crafts. We are Lego.
Are we discussing spoilers for a series that I have not watched?
Damn.
Or is it that old?
I gotta deduct points for that one. You're spoiling the anime, bro. Bro's talking like as AVD is an agency. Oldest gen in AVD. Is it?
No.
Okay, Pokemon Evolution. I don't see these often. I actually do not see this often. So like this is very rare. Usually I just see like this is just my. They would usually show the ref sheet, not the work in progress.
Where's the shout out for the guest judge though? Gotta dock points.
Gotta dock points to that one.
Where's Gucci on this?
I'm an Enigma. I'm a.
What else do we have here? Oh hey, yeah, by the way.
Damn. Affiliate code.
Advanced PG already? What the fuck? Dude, this was straight up like the moment when they said they're millennial. I was just like, oh yeah, I already knew what I was expecting. It's not gonna be like Zoomer level hype, right? But it was still hype.
I was engaged with it.
I fucked with it. I fuck with Tia.
It was more chill, and I appreciated it because it did not get overhyped.
Yeah.
Uniqueness. I think it was unique to. It's a unique concept. It's a unique model, and everything that like all together.
I don't see. Yeah. I've never seen like a hyena model before, so like I always like seeing what someone can do with like a new animal or incorporate a concept like that. So if I were to give constructive criticism for this one, the part where I did get lost a little bit in terms of retaining attention would be the likes dislike things. I think by having 4 different categories, you have to make it still like be able to pay attention, right? So if you have a lot to list, don't overload the slideshow with words. You should have it instead with graphics, right? Definitely, I would say like choose a top 3 or top 5 and then supplement that with graphics. And if you're short on time, I think the reason why they went a little bit over time was they spent too much time on talking about each and every single thing, which I do appreciate to get to know the person more. But if it's like a time strain thing, you have to choose what is worth talking about and when you need to move on, right?
It goes into the connection aspect. Sure, we learn a lot, but it's something that, like some of the stories, it's something that we could learn throughout the stream, watching the stream regularly. It's not something that we had to know during the day.
There's like a you know that like saying like show don't tell. I think Tia did more telling than showing. And for me, it's like I would like to show me how much you like this more. They were really well set in terms of like the chat box widget, the background stuff. That's gonna be really good if they choose to do more like just chatting streams. So they're set up pretty well, you know. Organization wise, I really like how well set up they were. I know there's scuff at the beginning, but then everything else went super smoothly afterwards.
I also, the thing that still bogs my mind is the scuff part. I still don't know if that was planned or that was the and I feel like that made an impression.
I'll never know. I will never know. It's gonna eat me alive. I need to ask them like, hey, who was that? Was that a bit? Was that real? Who am I?
Because the thing
is, I want to help them.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you want to help them?
No.
No is insane.
No.
Oh, physics.
I'm a judge, man. I'm not supposed to help. Oh, look at the graphics. Look at that. Why is that Taylor Swift?
Oh no! Controversial take. Oh no!
Oh, no. Oh man, the Swifties are gonna get her. You just debuted. Don't get canceled.
Taylor Swift. I fucking hate her.
Yep.
Okay. Her music is annoying to me.
Oh
Jesus. The hot takes. Damn. Don't listen to your ops, bro. I feel like
Ladybugs.
Didi out here hating on butterflies. Tears is like butterfly hates mayo. Didi likes mayo. Like, oh man, they're ops. They're ops. I don't write the plot.
I swear it's not scripted. It's a reality show.
It's a reality show. You do this on purpose.
I still don't know what that bottom left corner says.
I'll never know. I've accepted it. Okay, should get to it.
Tomb Raider series.
Okay, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. Oh, that's what that was. Oh. Oh.
Finally.
Finally.
The cartel. That's like a hood book.
Where is
what? That's a hood book. Is crazy. What? High level. I think it would be around the same as like chill. I feel like she's more of the comfy kind and stuff. And I think because of the scuff, it kind of offset what could have been more hype. But that's totally fine. Scuff happens and whatnot, right?
I think it started off low, and I think it's mainly because of the feelings from the scuff.
Yeah, and that happens. Like nerves do get to you when it comes to debut and stuff.
As they got through the presentation, I feel like it got back up.
Yeah, like when she felt more comfortable, and I'm sure it's gonna adjust over time. When she streams more and when she figures out her like, I guess like her chugging situation, for sure. Yeah.
uniqueness.
When you see this, is this like just for the entire debut, or like talking like specifically the model and stuff? Because I really like her stinger transitions and all
Mhm.
that. I like her entire aesthetic.
Mhm.
Really like the just like the whole like space isn't new,
Mhm.
right? Like the whole space thing is not it's not unique by any means, but I think like the way she incorporates it's very cutesy. It kind of reminds me of, it's more like K-pop
Yeah.
type vibe. Like I would see this in like an album. I think it's really nice. Like she uses it really nicely. So
I
it's,
think
like, aesthetically it's pleasing.
it's a unique combination. You have cafe barista, space, elf, goth.
There's a lot of
comfy.
elements. A lot of elements for sure. Yeah.
Like those elements are not unique by themselves, and it's just the fact that she's trying to combine all together that makes it unique.
Yeah. And I think it works really well. I think the execution is really well on that end, for sure.
So connection. How much have you learned? I feel like I learned a lot from them just because there's so much.
Definitely learned a lot from her. It's just like same problem as I had with Tia, was basically like it was too much, I think, was said in my opinion. Yeah. It's just like the whole show don't tell thing. It's great that she has a lot of interest. I just wish that I think I would have paid attention more or remember more of it had it not been like 4 pages worth of list and stuff. Right? Even though I can say I know a lot more, if you ask me to recite them, I'm not gonna remember that much. Okay, but that isn't to say like she wasn't relatable. Obviously, there's some stuff. I don't know if you paid her to do this, but the boba thing, the Pepsi thing, the cheesesteak thing, I was just like, damn, I kind of fuck with you in that regard. I vibe with that, you know. I like that. So definitely, like, there's some things I liked about it, and there's some stuff like I wish it didn't eat up too much time, because then you lose the retention, right?
Probably the best part for me that memorable was that dislikes, and just because of the graphic was moving, right?
Yeah, she said Taylor Swift 5 times in different symbol. Yeah,
and I think because it dragged on after, it lost the momentum.
Yeah. Sometimes like too much isn't, just because it's like quantity. It's not. You know, if you say too much, not everyone's gonna remember. That's like the one thing you gotta look out for.
Welcome back, contestants. You've had wonderful debuts. How are you guys feeling so far?
Exhausted.
Yeah, exhausted indeed.
So tired, man.
All right, so going off the order of we debut, we'll start with Donuts. Donuts, you did amazing. You captured everyone's energy. You had the hype level at a steady pace. No overboard, no underboard. Your story beats you're trying to put was pretty good. My only criticism was at the end, your goals got too long, but it didn't get too long that it like started to get people disconnected. But it is that sort of thing that it could have helped you with time, because that time dug into you showcasing your model just because you did that. Moving on to Tia. You had good story beats on your debut. And you had like good music. You had good balance of that. You recognize most of the stuff that's happening with your stream, and then you change that on the fly. When you are describing your likes and your favorite anime and stuff, your topics, the slide was too crowded.
Oh, okay.
Plus the fact that because you were getting into detail with every item, it tends to lose viewer retention.
Okay.
And that disconnected us from the debut to try to like keep up with what you're trying to say.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I understand.
Other than that, I thought you did a great job with handling the model since you got it at much later date compared to everyone else. Gucci complimented how you had your assets set up.
Oh.
It stood out to him compared to the other two. Your background, your chat overlay, and all that stuff. He liked how well put together the scenes were.
Oh, okay.
Moving on to Tyria. Aside from the model scuff, which is something that I expected since it is your first time with like 2D model, I did not expect it to be like smooth on it, but you powered through. And that's something that I was happy with. Although the fact that since in the beginning you took too long trying to troubleshoot, it dug into the time of everything else.
Oh yeah.
Normally in normal streams you have all the time in the world. It's your stream, right? You can handle the troubleshooting anytime. But when you're doing like a timed thing, set most of your troubleshooting time to 5 minutes. After 5 minutes is done, move on. Like I said, with the model not functioning correctly, you should be able to still continue off with your script, you know, because you have your PowerPoint presentation and stuff like that. The information is what mostly matters, right? It's not the model itself. You always have your second chance with your model. You won't have a second chance with the debut itself, with the time event, right?
Okay.
Concept itself, Gucci liked it. Your multiple concepts had some connection to you and was intrigued to finding out more on what you are, what you do. It felt like your energy was like down at the beginning. You built it back up, and I'm happy for you for that. That throughout it, you were able to bring yourself up to get the energy you needed to get through the slides.
Thank you.
I think last thing is same problem with Tia, that you were explaining like every item on your favorites list. Even though it wasn't as cluttered as Tia, it made it more readable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it wasn't very readable myself when I was making it, so I figured doing bullet points would help more.
You mentioned earlier in your debut that it was a shared link for your Canva presentation. I feel like you could have taken advantage of that fact and just skimmed through the bullet point, you know, and then say, oh, you can revisit those at a later time when you want to do, like, I know some people do debut 2.0s. I know Tia was already thinking about that.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
It was still a wonderful watch for all three of you. Gucci and I had some fun, like riffing off some of the points you guys made on your debuts. I think due to the overall package of hype, excitement, and concept overall, I would say that Donuts did the best in their debut.
Hey!
Yeah.
You did well.
Thank you. You guys did super well too.
And honestly, there's no like second or third, because yeah, I just did not want to think about that. You guys did both so well too. It wasn't that, oh, it was like a large majority. You guys did very well. There's no second and third. So both Tia and Tyria did very
close
well
calls.
on that. Yeah. That being said, now that the debut is over, so your next challenge, now that you have your live 2D models, is to try to get back on track with your guidelines. I understand that the last 2 months were very hectic for you guys along with the challenges. So take this time to collect yourself and relax. At the beginning of October, we will meet together again to announce the next challenge, and that's when your advantage DD comes into play. And with that, remember, whenever you're on the internet, there's always virtual drama. See you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.
世界中のすべての人間疲れてる気持ち悪いよだけど日になれない教室で二人いて見ていたいの数の暴力ら旗を上げて感情を殺した廃棄パスとブルースの甘い武器スエロくがんでるラブ&ピース自己中の骨戦銃フランチャする両者のナンセンスお得チュールで作る殺しのライセンスんだのんちゃったイスリーゲーム無痛運命で授かるベイブ壮大な血は乗りを歴史と呼ぶ生きたいが死ねと言われ死にたいが生きろと言われ死にたいが死ねと言われ死にたいが生きろと言われ幸せ自慢はダメ不幸を嘆いてもダメ涼しい言葉を避け明るい未来のため上海この世には気もできない人がたくさんいるんですよ上海この世にはいてもできない人がたくさんいるんですよあちら立てばこちら正す譲り場合守り意識ちゃい地雷原で立ち止まりおとなしい犬になるんだわNombres, nombres, 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 oblige I love you 息苦しい日々の水面下ゆらゆらと煙る血の花僕らはコンプレックスコンプレックスコンプレックスコンプレックスを武器に争うそれぞれのすること自由のため息を止めること強制するキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマルキスマル息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止める息を止めるNombres, nombres, 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 oblige I love you それぞれの次を守るため君と僕語で拒否する